We aren't studying the contribution of greater than minimal risk groups because we're saying these women should not have access to community births. We, in the same way that ACOG has affirmed that when maternal and infant conflict arise, while the baby is still inside the mother, even if she makes a choice that puts the fetus at risk, her autonomy is to be maintained, and we, as a research group, hold to that as well. We are hoping, though, that we can provide more specific data on outcomes within the community setting that can be used for shared decision-making between clients and midwives. So where we have the greatest access in the hospital, fewer women are attempting labor after cesarean outside of the hospital, suggesting that while we don't have an integrated maternity care system in the US, what we do affects each other nonetheless. And women may be pushed into making a choice about where they deliver based on lack of access in their communities. In labor, and most of them were non-urgent. So this idea that people could rupture, you will see some ruptures in this sample, but this is definitely not the primary reason people are transferring. Okay, so that's important to know. In women with a prior cesarean and a prior vaginal birth, this is a really important finding. The combined intrapartum and neonatal mortality rates is lower than that for primips. Do you get that? So states that allow home birth and birth center birth allow it for primips, but often do not for women who are wanting to labor after cesarean. This is not supported by the evidence. Not all labor after cesarean women are at the same level of risk. If you have had a previous vaginal birth, you are at lower risk than a primip. And one thing to remember is that 2 to 3 times 0 or nearly 0 is still nearly 0.